1995, we moved to the city. My wife was expecting her first child. We knew nobody. My wife got a job in the fledgling ABS Corporation. She knew Tamar, she knew Yossi, and might say in Kippur, she had her first child, and Baruch Hashem was very, very nice. Everything Tuesday, those days before cell phones. On Friday, I get a phone call, come to the hospital fast. It's important, it's an emergency. I go, well, just come to the hospital fast. I come to the hospital, who's there? Rifki, she's sitting there in the bed, panicking, and next to her is, of course, Tamar. Just sitting there also panicking. And Tamar is telling us the whole time, you have to come to us for Shabbos, what are you going to do? I mean, you're in a traumatic experience, what are you going to do? And we said, we don't know what we're going to do, we're going to go home because we're stubborn and we're not thinking. Fine, and as Tamar leaves, doctor comes in, he speaks to us. We're talking right now, it's 45 minutes before Shabbos. All of a sudden, there's an announcement that says, Mr. Weinberg, you have a phone call from your mother-in-law. If my brain was working, it was running Shabbos on the East Coast. I go, I didn't know. I pick up the phone and I say, hello? Hello, this is not your mother-in-law. This is Brandman. You're coming to me for Shabbos. I said, no, don't worry, we're going to go. Don't be tough with me, because I'll be tougher. I said, okay, we'll be by you for Shabbos. And sure enough, we came in there, and it was automatically, it wasn't even like, there was no awkward moment. We walked in there, the whole family was around, and we just became part of the family immediately. Everything was folks saying everything, and a lot of things were mentioned, and
they saved us a parking spot, do you remember?
What?
They saved us a parking spot. We pulled up Shkia. They saved us a parking spot. Sam was standing outside. They saved us a parking spot.
I don't remember, but I do remember what you said before. I mean, all of a sudden, 6 o'clock in the next morning, there's a knock on the door in the red room. I said, what was going on? I opened it up. Give me the baby. Is this forever? Yes. And she took the baby. Now, I don't want to say anything, but this is what my perspective was, okay, in 1995. So when he says, Boruch, I want you to eat by me the first night sukkahs. I said, oh. I said, Yossi, are you eating by your parents' first night sukkahs? And you said, no. And there was something about that no that I didn't really pick up so well. Then Tamar said, Tamar, are you eating by your parents' first night sukkahs? She goes, no. And I said, oh. Okay, and first of all, I didn't know what was going on because I didn't see her cooking anything. And I didn't really know there was a basement going on, but I come in there the first night sukkahs into the sukkah, and I never saw anything like this in my life. Because it wasn't just the way, the amount of food, the type of food, the way it was served, and the crowd of people that were there, I never saw in my life. And I was just looking around, and I couldn't believe it. And this was the first night sukkahs. Every year, this is what we do, every year sukkahs. And it shocked me. I mean, there are people who talk about now, and some person, one of those people is a huge Talmud Chacham to that. I just want to end off one thing that I think this thing describes Buni more than anything else in this story. Many years later, Buni had this kind of like satellite thing for trauma, that wherever it was, no matter where it was, she knew about it. So we were once in a hospital, and it was a very, very scary time, and we were by a doctor, actually a new doctor, and we were sitting there, and we were pretty scared. And all of a sudden the door opens, I'm talking like the Kool-Aid thing, there's Booney walking with bags and stuff and everything. Hi! And she's like, sits down, and she's like, hi Booney, what are you doing here? I heard, oh, wow. Anyways, the doctor, we were like all scared of everything, and walked out for a few moments, and he had a bag of pretzels. And the next thing you know is Booney's sitting there eating his pretzels. And the doctor comes in later on, I said, Booney, you're eating the doctor's pretzels. She goes to the doctor, by the way, what's your name? He says, Norman. What's your Hebrew name? I didn't know. Naphtali Aaron. Okay. Naphtali Aaron, I just want to let you know I ate your pretzels. And it was just the most perfect scene, because she was there with the trauma and eating someone else's doctor's pretzels. And it wasn't the first time. There was someone who was from the East Coast who was by us and saw just the way she was acting, and for years on just couldn't stop talking about this woman, okay, who would literally just go out of the way to people who she had no idea who they were at first, and just literally give up herself and then make them part of the family. And when I was there for that first Shabbos, I asked her, when do you want us to leave? And she said, never. And I said, okay, we'll take her up on that. And Baruch Hashem, we thank her, and that's on ours. She was always our Uni, as everyone says. Everyone feels that way, but part of the family we for sure felt.